church family, and happy Easter. I'm so excited that we get to be together today just to go through this fun event. And before we get started, I want you to know that this Easter Jam activity is for everyone. So it doesn't matter if you're a teenager or a college student or just a younger kid or an adult at home, Easter Jam is for you. And I want you to hear one thing first. The only way not to have fun during this time is to not participate. So look around you. Is there anyone missing from your family? If there is, hit pause and go get them. Bring them back in here. We'll wait so they can have an exciting time. This is going to be a great time, and we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1.
Easter, a time for fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies. And then there are the weird parts of Easter, like fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies, which is interesting. But what does all this stuff have to do with Easter? And if this holiday is about more than candy and wearing uncomfortable clothes to church and lunch with your relatives, what makes Easter happy?
Okay, let's get started with our first game. Now hear me out on this one. There's only 2 types of people in this world. One, those of you who actually like these things. And 2, people like me who don't understand how anyone could really eat a peep. Right? They're mushy, they're sugary, they're kind of grainy. I'm not exactly sure why people like them. But there's lots of opinions out there. So what about your family? Give me a thumbs up if you like peeps, and give me a thumbs down if you can't stand them. Okay, there's lots of opinions out there, but no matter how you feel about peeps, whether you like them or you can't stand them, this game is for you. So your family is getting ready to face off in one of the greatest peeps jousting competition of all times. So I'm going to explain it to you, see how it works, and then we're going to get started. So the first thing you need to do is divide the room into 2 teams. And then each team gets a peep. So assign 1 peep to each team. Now if you want to, you can get a little creative with your peep, maybe even name your peep. If you want to go along the medieval theme, you can name it Sir Peeps a Lot, or maybe Sir Sugarcoat, something like that. Or if you want to go along the Star Wars theme, maybe you want to name it Luke Peepwalker, or maybe Pete Vader, but you get the idea. Give 1 to each team, and then we have to prepare them for battle. So the second thing you do, grab a toothpick. This will be more like you can think of it as your joust, or your lightsaber, or your sword, and you stick it in the peep just like that. So you want to have it sticking out slightly this way. Now, take both peeps, take them and put them on a microwave safe plate. You want to put them close together. Don't worry, social distancing does not apply. You can be closer than 6 feet. Put your 2 peeps together, close together on a microwave safe plate and stick it in the microwave. Now what you want to do here is turn your microwave on for 45 seconds. Now listen, don't do it any longer than that. You're probably gonna have to stop it beforehand, but trust me, don't let it run that long. So when you put them in there, stand back at a safe distance and watch the peeps go. And the peeps, whoever's joust or lightsaber touches the other peep first, wins. So as soon as that happens, you're gonna wanna stop the microwave. And trust me, families, you're gonna wanna stop the microwave for that. Okay, so now it's time to settle things. So get your teams, divide your peeps, prepare them for battle, press pause now, and I'll wait here and see what happens. So how did it go? Who won? I want some pictures. Again, take a picture of your winning peep, put it on your social media page, put it on the church's Facebook communication page. I want to see who won the peep jousting competition. And that was a little bit more fun than I thought it might be. And plus, our peeps ended up looking a little bit like this. That's a great time. Are you ready for the second game? So this is what you're going to need for the second game. You need to get one laundry basket, and lots of socks. Like this. Doesn't matter if they're clean or dirty, just make sure they have a matching pair with them. So you may need to go get this now, so pause the video right now, go get you a laundry bag and a bunch of socks, and I'll explain the rest. Got your basket and your socks? Great. Now what you want to do is choose 2 people to play. It'd also be nice to have a scorekeeper to keep track of the game as it goes. So what you're going to do to get started, you're going to dump all the socks on one side of the room. And don't worry, they're going to eventually make their way back. And then you're going to take the basket and you're going to place it on the other side of the room. However far away you want it to be is up to your guys and maybe your skill set. So what you're going to do is, as each player, and I will tell you when to start, you're going to have 1 minute. You're going to reach into the pile, grab a sock. And then you're going to search for the other matching sock, grab it, roll it into a ball, just like this, or an Easter egg, and then you're going to toss it into the basket. You're going to have 1 minute to do this, as many as you can. Keep track of the points, and whoever has the most Easter balls or Easter socks into the basket at the end wins the game. Parents, you're going to have to keep track or else you're playing. Be honest, it's okay if you lose to your kids, but now's your opportunity to do that now. So maybe you guys need to get in position, get ready to do this, and then I'll start the timer. So hit pause now and get ready for the game. Everybody ready? Great. We're going to put a 1 minute timer on the screen. The Easter egg throwdown is getting ready to start in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, families, come on back over here. So who won? That was wild, right? And I know some of you maybe are better than you thought, and some of you aren't as good as you thought you might be at throwing some egg socks into a basket. But hey, if you won, you know what you get? Socks. No, not really. You just get to put them all away. Okay, not really. Maybe, depending on your family. But hey, adults, I encourage you, whoever won, make sure they get a special treat for today. And maybe it's a special treat maybe like this. But I hope you're having fun so far. We're here today to celebrate Easter. And if you're not familiar with the Easter story, that's okay. But today, we're going to talk about what makes today, maybe more than any other day, a happy day. But before we do that, I know you have a lot of family and friends who would love to hear from you. And this Easter is definitely different than most Easters we've had in the past. Maybe you're used to being around a lot of family and friends. But to make this happen, you have a few options. Pause the video and pick one of the challenges on the screen. This way you can wish your peeps a happy Easter. Pause and do that now. Great job, guys. I hope you're able to bless some of your friends and family, and maybe even your neighbors, by wishing them a happy Easter. Now, this year's Easter is definitely different than the past, but that doesn't mean it's not happy. It is, and it's not because of peep wars or chocolate bunnies or Easter baskets. It's because of what happened thousands of years ago at the very first Easter. And this story is a powerful story but yet simple story. So simple that it could be told with something as easy as laundry. Let's watch.
In the beginning, God created everything. He formed people in His very own image. But then, we turned away from God. Sin entered the world, like a dark stain. Still, God loved us so deeply that He made a plan to rescue us. At just the right moment, God sent His very own Son, Jesus, to live among us. Jesus healed hearts and minds and bodies. Thousands gathered to hear Him teach. Instead of giving lots of new rules, Jesus turned things upside down by making it simple. Love God, love others. After 3 years of traveling and teaching, Jesus and His disciples entered Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover feast. Huge crowds gathered to welcome Him. But while the crowds cheered for Jesus, the religious leaders made plans to arrest Him. He was turning their world upside down, and they wanted Him gone. As Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with His friends, He told them that He would be leaving, but would return. His friends didn't understand. That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas, led soldiers to arrest Him. The religious leaders gave Jesus a fake trial and then sent Him to Pilate, the Roman governor, who could have Him killed. Pilate found Jesus had broken no law and tried to release Him. But a mob called for Jesus to be killed. Pilate gave in and handed Jesus over to the Roman soldiers. Jesus was forced to carry the heavy beams of His own wooden cross. On a hill called Golgotha, the soldiers nailed Jesus' hands and feet to the rough wood. The soldiers and people who passed by laughed and mocked Him. But from the cross, Jesus asked God to forgive them. Finally, Jesus called out, "It is finished." Then He died. The earth shook. Rocks split open. Even the soldiers cried, "Surely He was the Son of God." One of Jesus' followers took His body and placed it in a tomb cut from the rock. A huge stone blocked the entrance. Jesus' friends were devastated. They had believed that Jesus was the one God promised, the one who would rescue them, but now He was gone. Their whole world had turned upside down. Jesus' friends stayed hidden in fear for 3 days. But early Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, a close friend of Jesus, hurried to the tomb. She planned to anoint Jesus' body with special spices. As Mary neared the tomb, she saw the stone had been rolled away. The tomb was empty. Mary turned to see a man standing near. She didn't recognize him until he said, "Mary." It was Jesus, alive. Jesus told her, "Do not hold on to me. I have not yet ascended to the Father. Instead, go to those who believe in me." Jesus, God's Son, became like us to lay down His life. Through God's power, He defeated death for all of us, and sin was washed away. One day, He's promised to return, so we can live with Him forever.
Wow, I hear that story every Easter. And it just amazes me that God sent Jesus into this world to remind us that He is greater than anything that we may face. And I think the simple fact that Jesus came back to life gives us assurance and proof that we can face anything. And I like to think about it like this. I can because Jesus is alive. I can keep loving because Jesus is alive. I can be brave because Jesus is alive. I can have hope because Jesus is alive. Here's an idea. Take a few minutes and add to this list of things you can do because Jesus is alive. Answer this question as a family. How would you fill in the blank? I can because Jesus is alive. Pause this video while you discuss, and I'll meet you right back here. Awesome. I hope you had some good discussion. And I love conversations like this because remembering what God has done in the past helps me to remain faithful in my life right now. And I hope that's true for you. And I hope you spend the rest of the day making happy memories with your family. Now to get you started, here's one last challenge. As soon as this video is over, I want you to go outside and take an Easter photo. Now you can be dressed up, you can be in your pajamas, whatever you want to do, that is fine. You can make a normal face, you can make a silly face. Make sure you're all on the same page though. But maybe now more than ever, this is the time to celebrate and remember God's faithfulness and the hope He gives us in Jesus. And after all, that's what makes Easter so happy. Now I'm going to leave you guys with just one song, and if you want to feel free, don't worry, I'm not going to sing. It's a video of the song with the lyrics, and you guys can sing along as a family. You can listen and worship, but I encourage you, spend the day together, have fun, and make this a great Easter, remembering our Lord Jesus Christ.
Day in history, death is beating, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. The empty cross, the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. When I stand in that place, free at last, meeting face to face. I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. In this joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is alive.